What's going on, everybody? MC Andrew Love back on your screen and your speakers one more time. And welcome to another edition of Let's Chat and Jam. In this episode, I speak with 4-time Grammy nominated, Tony Award winning artist. I mean, platinum and gold artist. Her name, Melba Moore. Check out this interview we did right now. What's going on, everybody? MC Andrew Love back on your screen and your speakers one more time with another edition of Let's Chat and Jam. In this episode, I'm speaking to a queen of music. Yes, I said of music. She is an icon. She is a diva. She is a 4-time Grammy nominated. She is a multiple award winning, none other than Melba Moore.
Thank you.
Thank you, Melba Moore. Oh my God. I am so honored by this visit, but I'm so thankful for this moment. Thank you.
My pleasure.
You've been doing this for a long time, but you're still doing it. It's like you've never left. You've always been here in the industry, and you've been making music all your life. And it's like you are so dope with it, and you've raised a lot of our parents. You serenade them. And how have you been?
I've been very, very, very well.
Yes. So when did you realize you had a passion for music?
Well, compared to most artists, because since you are the instrument and the gift, you kind of usually know that, especially if you're a singer, by the time maybe you're 2 or 3 years old. But I really didn't know that until maybe I was about just preteen, because my mother was a single parent. She was a singer, but she was always gone singing. So the early years of my life, there was no music in my house. Somebody else raised me. Then she married a piano player. And all of a sudden, and she sang with him. They worked together. But he also had a daughter and a son. And later on, they had 2 more brothers. So now instead of being an only child, now I got a family. Music is the centerpiece of our family. My dad was a piano player. So he made us all learn piano. So now I take piano lessons and I'm studying music. And then, we all sing together in the house. So I was already about 11 years old before I found out, I could sing.
Wow.
I didn't have a passion for it yet. It was just something the family did. Okay. So I really started late. That's my point.
Well, who are your greatest influences?
Maybe Aretha Franklin. We have so many now. I mean, I can go back and look at Jesus. And my parents were artists. So then I grew up on people like Ella Fitzgerald ridiculous, right?
No, that's my God, Ella Fitzgerald. My heart stops.
And, Dinah Washington is, we were
the queens.
Yeah, the only word I can think of is just outrageous, ridiculous. Carmen, I can't mention them all. And then from there on, the decades went and you heard newer and newer singers, and say blues came into mainstream. If you were from the South, you heard it, but I was from New York and Newark, New Jersey. So we didn't hear it until later on the radio, because we didn't have really black radio stations.
That's true.
You're down South, you didn't have them either. You heard country music. Did you know that Gladys Knight was a country singer first? Well, the thing with this, because we're African Americans, we didn't have the outlets that white Americans did. So when you ask me when did I do this and when I hear that, I'm telling you, I guess I'm giving you a little bit about what my age is, but you already know that. But I'm saying, being brought up in New York and Newark, eventually we had WBLS. First of all, it was FM. We didn't even have FM before. Yeah. And I think the AM station was essentially gospel.
Yeah. So
then later on, the people that I listened to, God, I guess there were people like Gladys and Diana Ross, and they were my peers. But at that time, I was still teaching school. They were in the industry already, so we're the same ages. But I hadn't entered the industry yet. I'm trying to tell you, I'm a real late bloomer. That's why I'm still here.
Okay.
I started late, so I'm gonna quit late.
So you wasn't like doing Michael Jackson, where you was in there when you was a little girl.
No.
You came in later on in your later years.
I came in after I taught school for 2 years.
Okay.
So I was a real adult.
That makes a lot of sense.
I was passing for younger, but I wasn't.
So by the time you got to the industry, you was ready for all that.
You know what, Andrew? Nobody's ready for all that.
So what?
Especially if you haven't been brought up in this industry. I was a little bit because my parents were in it. And of course, they always told me the horrible things that could happen to you. But the entertainment industry is kind of wide open. They're almost like no rules. I mean, there are rules, but it's very hard to find them out because anybody can start anywhere and anybody can become successful. There is a method, but until you really get enmeshed in it and maybe have a few bumps, and nobody's like either knowledgeable or willing to tell you how the systems work. Like, for instance, if you have a good agent or good manager, they were usually white and they were usually educated and they were usually lawyers.
Wow.
So they want to have a piece of you. They're not interested in educating you.
Yeah.
So that, in a way, it kind of evens the field because if you know the industry, if you don't, when you come in, you got to go through that. These days, for instance, you don't you manage yourself essentially?
Yeah, I manage my podcast. I manage, and if I do go singing, I manage myself too, yes.
Because it's a more independent business world, period. But it's evolved into that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to I have a great manager now, but I don't have to have a manager now. Back in the day, you had to because of the racism, because of the system, and because you really needed to know the industry. But you can find out anything you want to on the internet now. You can look it up.
Yeah.
So, it's very, very, very different today than it was before. So when you ask certain questions, I don't know about somebody else, but I might answer them a little bit differently because of where we are all now. You know?
Yeah, and whatever answers you give me are so dope because it's a great contrast between when you came up in the industries to when another young woman is coming up in the industry in 2021. It's a big difference.
Right. It's not like a different world. It's like a different planet.
Wow. That's major.
For me, it's been fabulous because for whatever reason, wherever I was seeing God seemed to be preparing me for something else. And like years before, I lost my family and my business and everything. And the internet was just starting to come in. But this is like about 15 years ago. So I had to make these adjustments anyway. So I started learning how to go on the internet and find things and do things. Now, for 15 years, I'm right on time. And I got a good manager. He's younger than I am, so he's much more tech-oriented. Plus, he does that part of it. You need a team. Well, I can't do it by myself. Usually, an artist doesn't represent themselves very well. They need the other side. Maybe they need the other side of the brain. I don't know. I'm very grateful. That's why you see me so humble, because I got good people helping me all the time. So I can continue. First of all, continue to take care of and grow my art, because you're a human being. You don't just push a button and it goes. You have to take care of it, Yeah.
And I'm digging the vibes. I really am. Now, do you do other things outside of music? Like, I know you're an actress. You've been in movies. Are you still doing movies?
Well, I will be, yes.
Now, are you able to talk about it or no?
No, they're all things that are in the works now. The deals haven't been finished yet. There were a lot of things that were being worked on before the pandemic that were kind of shut down. And so they're all being put into place again. But I'll be doing theater again. I'll be doing film again. I'll be doing more music. I'll be doing everything. I'm going to be in concert. My first concert, well, actually, it's the 18th of this month. But the next one is going to be, do you know who D Nice is?
Yes, I do. DJ D Nice, right?
DJ, yes. I'm going to be in concert with him in September 2nd in Brooklyn. So, right.
It's good. Oh, Brooklyn. That's
wide and gasp.
Wow.
Okay.
You're going to have Stephanie Mills with you.
And Stephanie Mills and a bunch of other incredible artists.
Can you talk about that song, Just Doing Me?
Well, it's a wonderful dance song. It was written by George and Angela Pettis for me. And of course, as you know, it was mixed by Terry Hunter. And basically, and when we say mixed, that used to mean something different too. It meant that you spent records in a club. Now it means an awful lot more. First of all, you guys have created a whole genre and built it up. So now Terry and D Nice, you guys promote concerts now. You do the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody's got more than one job now. Everybody has multiple jobs.
Well, it's kind of all tied into one, and you stay in control of everything. But that's because you developed that job. I mean, it's a lot more to it than I can say.
Right. When you saw the song, what came to your head? Like, why did you choose to do this song?
Because George and Angela Pettis said it was me. I don't write, but I work with people. It's like looking in the mirror, somebody looking at you and saying, oh, you know, this dress would look nice on you. If you trust them, you try it. They were right.
I was going to ask you about some of your songs that my mother used to listen to from the album Portrait of Melba, because she loved that album. She had the tape, all right? This is just after the 8 tracks went away and the cassettes came out. And so my mom, she bought the cassette tape, A Portrait of Melba. And I think I listened to that tape until it popped, because that's how much I listened to your music. I used to think I was a DJ and I would just play your music and I'd be acting like I was having a mix show. And it'd just be the best of Melba Moore. But in my house, it was, you know.
You got your first practice, right?
Oh, yeah. I would practice with you. I would practice with Zap, practice with Levert and all those other cats. Oh, man. I miss those days. Well, folks, I want to play a little snippet of Melba Moore's song, Just Doing Me. It's only going to be about 10 seconds, but you can go find this song on all platforms. You can go over there to Apple Music, YouTube, to watch some videos of Melba Moore, and she's got lots of them. So go enjoy yourself. YouTube Music, Deezer, Pandora, and my favorite place, iHeartRadio. Yes, Melba Moore is there. So wherever there's streaming going on, Melba Moore, she's in the middle of it. So without further ado, folks, I'm going to play a little snippet of the song, Just Doing Me. Yo, shout out to Terry Hunter. Yeah. This is Melba Moore all day long. And everybody else, if you want to hear the rest of this song, you know what you got to do. You got to go tap in. You got to go to those places like I told you before. That's where Melba Moore is, and that's where you got to be. Because Melba Moore still got stuff coming for you. You can't stop a good woman. She's going to keep coming at you with those hits all the time. I love you, Melba Moore. I really do.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you.
Can you give us some of your experiences that you've had since you've been in the music industry?
A lot of travel. I don't know what you want to hear.
I want to hear some of your stories that you can tell us, okay, this is what I've been through, and this is what you want to avoid.
Well, let me start with the song you just gave a snippet of, Just Doing Me.
Yes.
The lyrics start, nobody else can do me better than I can. I'm still here and still doing me. And it basically says, so take me as I am. And I thought, But then the first time I saw the video, people had heard it for the first time and they were already dancing to it. I saw a young man in a wheelchair dancing to it. And then I really listened to the lyrics and I said, oh, they're just doing them. I said, that's really great. Or as you would say, dope. And I think that's one of the things that's so great about the song. The other thing is that I saw people dancing to it in the park, and they were dancing with each other, and they looked very nice, and it was twirling and everything. I said, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of back in the day when people used to do the hustle, and they danced together.
I remember those days. Well, no, I don't. I'm not that old. I'm only 45, Mrs. Moore.
I know, you're a baby. Come back when you grow up. Okay.
Only Melba Moore can get away with something like that. Because I tell you, I was just to be offended quickly when somebody picked on me about my age when I was young. Oh, you're just the whippersnapper, boy.
Oh, yeah. Well, at every age, something is wrong that you didn't do right just by being here.
But you ain't promised this world, man. You're not promised. I mean,
for every minute.
And I tell you this, you don't owe nobody nothing. You don't even owe them an explanation.
Well, but you don't want to be rude, you know, because when people say those things, they don't mean harm. Sometimes they can do some harm, but they don't mean harm.
Well, yeah. All right. I ain't going to say no more, Mrs. Moore.
That's my humble opinion. You can do it the way you want to. I'm not telling you how to do it.
Do you have any advice for the young ones that are coming up that want to do what you're doing?
Well, the thing that I've done is continue to learn, continue to adjust, continue to look around you and see what's going on. Young people usually do that. But as the time goes and you're required to adjust and change, everybody will tell you to do whatever the new artist is doing, the biggest artist. And you can do that. You should look at what you're able to do. And if you're not able to, I would love to sing like Aretha Franklin, but I can't. So find out what you can do and keep trying.
Well, I don't know. You do have a great voice, and your vocal range is just bananas, man. It's just, whew, I'm floored that you still have that range. Because some artists tell me, oh, my range is not so good anymore. I gotten older now. But you, on the other hand, you must drink a lot of lemonade or something, or lemon juice.
No, that's not good for you.
But
But there are things that will help and things that will hurt. And so maybe people who are listening might get some tips to say that warm fluids, water is good. Apple juice is good because it has pectin. Those kinds of fruits. Fried foods are really bad. A lot of dairy, like ice cream and stuff, is terrible. Generally, after you get to be, teenage, you don't want to eat a lot of bread and milk because we're usually raised on milk. But after puberty, it's not good for you anymore. Nobody really ever tells you this. Then if you have the the talent and the ingenuity to last, say, over 40 or 50 years old, nobody tells you that your diet has to change.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. So I'll tell everybody that's young now, eat and have fun now. I can't drink any alcohol.
You can't drink any booze?
No.
Not even a champagne?
Especially not champagne because of the sugar. It goes to your throat.
Wow. I never knew that.
I know nobody talks about that. And they'll be out partying and having a good time, which they should. But nobody tells you certain things after a certain age, you cannot do them because your body doesn't produce and reproduce the way that it did before. And if you want to keep your youth, you want to keep your health, you want to keep your voice, you want to keep your energy, you want to keep your looks, you don't want to wrinkle up fast, you got to change your diet. And that's very important. And a lot of times, have you seen so many young people with diabetes and obesity? It's diet.
Yes, you're so correct. Because when I was younger, I ate like a garbage can. And I didn't think about myself at 45 when I was in my 20s because I was thinking, oh, I'll be fine. I'm young. Right. I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be slim all my life. Never going to get fat like my mom. And look at me now. I'm the size of a roly-poly.
Well, guess what? You're still very young, so you can start. And especially, it's important. Of course, you want to look good, but it's really important for your health.
Yeah, I don't want to be a statistic.
Right.
Because my father ended up being a statistic. Yeah, diabetic, lost both legs.
And that's horrendous for the person going through it. It's terrible for you to witness it. So you've seen that happen in your family. And I'm telling you, you really have to go. And I can't tell you everything that you should eat and everything. And everybody's different. But there's certain basic things everybody should stay away from. You should stay away from a lot of fried foods. Stay away from a lot of bread, butter, a lot of pork, a lot of not too much beef. Eat as much fish as you can, and salads and fruits, and drink plenty of water. That's primarily it. Of course, you can party a little bit. You have to. You're young, but just know you can't make a steady diet of that. And at a certain point, you may have to give it up if you want your health.
That's really cool to know that. Everybody, you heard what Mrs. Melba Moore said, right? You have to take care of your body by watching what you eat. And I guess she was talking to me too. So I need to take that into consideration and act on it.
I don't know what you eat or what kind of shape you're in or anything, but I think you can see I'm healthy.
You're very healthy and you still look good.
Right. I mean, everybody wants to look good. I know you do.
But you are looking good. That's the whole point.
And you want your voice. I mean, we love singing. We love the accolades that the people give us. So we don't want to lose that. And everybody has some ability. It may not be like, music or something, but you deserve to be alive and healthy. And you have to take care of it.
Do you have any burning desires?
To keep on keeping on, babies.
Well, you are doing just that, Melba Moore, and I do appreciate you. Oh yeah, your time is still ticking, man. You got so much to do. You're not finished yet, not by a long shot. You got to have at least 3 Grammys on your shelf.
Right, I've been nominated, but I didn't get one yet. So that could be good.
And I tell you, like I told you in your DMs, I said if you don't get a Grammy this year, I'm boycotting the Grammys. It's just that simple. It's a one-man boycott. I know. But somebody has got to make some noise for Melba Moore.
That's true. I'll take it.
She wins a Tony Award. Yes, God bless the people at the Tonys. But you nominate her and say, hey, we think you're so dope, we're going to nominate you. But you don't pick her. That's bull. Because Melba Moore she's classic, man. Her music is timeless. She's got music that is still spinning to this day because of the way she operates in a vocal. Her vocal range is bananas. She does this melodic acrobats throughout her music all the time. And folks, for some of you who have not heard Melba Moore, you must have been born yesterday. Because Melba Moore is a queen in the industry. Yes. And she's going to be the queen until the day she decides not to be. And that's never going to happen, folks. So you just might as well get used to it and keep calling her Queen Melba. One of these. One of these.
Oh, Andrew, thank you so much for those accolades.
You're such an amazing person. I'm so glad you came through. I really appreciate your time. America, the world, this is MC Andrew Love. This is Let's Chat and Jam, and this is my special guest, Melba Moore. She came through, and she came to talk about it. She's styling and profiling. This lady here has not aged, not one bit. She looks the same as she did yesterday and the day before that. I don't know how she does it, folks. It's just, you know how she does it. She eats right. And she tells everybody else, if you want to look good too, you're going to have to eat right also. So, folks, let us do it. Let us all eat right. And let us enjoy our youth while we have it. Absolutely. Because I'll tell you something, folks, life is short. We don't want to end up being a statistic. We want to end up living to see tomorrow and the rest of the days. The longer we have on this planet, the more we have to talk about. Can you tell the folks where they can find you?
All the platforms. What are they?
Instagram.
Thank you.
Are you on Twitter?
Twitter, Spotify.
Facebook.
Thank you. Yes.
LinkedIn.
Yes.
Me too.
Yes, and you can buy the music on Amazon.
You got music on SoundCloud?
Probably SoundCloud, Apple.
Pandora. Deezer.
Yeah. I don't say these things every day, so I don't always remember them, but I'm there. I get help from you youngins.
So every platform that we can find music on, any streaming platform that's even in existence, Melba Moore has her spot there too.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I'll tell you something, Melba Moore. I looked on Spotify and I saw your spins. Oh my God. Your fan base is huge.
Well, it's really been growing so wonderfully, especially, I guess, since the pandemic and people really turned to the internet for something to do. It's really increased. And like I said, my partner, Ron Richardson, and he has some help in terms of navigating all of the different platforms so that we can stay out there in front of people. And so I'm very, very grateful.
Me too. I'm so grateful. That's why you're here today, because you're still the queen, and I'll always look up to you. I'll be your fan for the rest of my days. Melba Moore, I'm your fan. And I tell you, when your movie comes out, and have you decided who is going to play you?
Are you talking about my story?
Yes.
No, because I'm thinking about doing other movies before that happens.
Okay. Well, if you do get somebody, get like Jennifer Hudson or something.
I'm sorry. She was on the cover being called a badass, so I was going to call her that too.
But I tell you, I think she could play the shiznit out of you, man. I'm telling you, that woman is...
She's a very, very talented, versatile woman, young woman.
And she can really blow. She's got the pipes, and she can really please you.
She's a great actor.
Yeah, she is. Oh, my God. She's wonderful.
Very nice lady.
Yes. Well, since you've been here for the first time, you've now become part of the Let's Chat and Jam fan. Which means you don't have to wait for me to ask Mr. Richardson if you're going to come on the show. You can tap into my DMs and say, hey, Drew, I got something to say. I got a song I want to promote. I got a book that I just wrote. I'm in a movie I just did. It doesn't matter what you're doing, Melba Moore. I want to know about it. So please, DM me. Come back. Come back to the show. And let me go into my calendar pencil you in and say, deal, you in the show, let's go. Yo, this is amazing, Melba Moore. I'm never gonna forget this episode. This is gonna be my favorite episode to watch back and to listen to on the podcast, because you are such an amazing person. You are so ill with it, and you're still doing it. And it's just like it never ends. You don't quit. You just keep going like an Energizer bunny. And I'm telling you something, I am so happy that you are here with us, Melba Moore. I'm so thankful that you made the choices you've made throughout your life to still be here. You are such an icon. You're such an amazing person that people can look up to. You are a wonderful lady, and I'm telling you, I'm digging the vibes. Folks, you gotta dig the vibes too, because you will dig the vibes. When you press play on Melba Moore, you tap into all her songs. Sit there and listen to the best of Melba Moore, the classics, the new stuff. All that stuff is still out there for your enjoyment. You can even go and find out watch those old movie clips that she's in. You can even go check her out on The Cosby Show. Yes, folks, The Cosby Show. God bless you, Bill Cosby. Next conversation, next podcast for that episode. But I'm telling you something, folks. This has been an amazing experience for me. I'm so glad you came through, Melba Moore. You are such an awesome lady. Please stay safe where you're at. Stay safe.
You too. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. And everybody else, y'all stay safe. And just remember this. If you have a dream, go for your dream, because only you can stop you. And nothing beats a failure but a try. Peace out, folks. Thanks for watching. And if you like what you saw, please subscribe to the channel. Also, like and share the content, as well as hit the notification icon so you don't miss a conversation with series right here on Let's Chat and Jam.